We're closing out our study of Paul's first letter to the Corinthians by looking at the final 2 chapters, a section that moves from the height of cosmic theology to the specifics of a church budget. Paul opens chapter 15 with a brutal hypothetical. He suggests that if Christ has not been physically raised from the dead, then those who follow him are the most pathetic people on earth. He summarizes this hypothetical state with the Greek word kenos. It means empty, hollow, or void of purpose. This diagram illustrates the logic. When the historical event of the resurrection is removed from the equation, the entire system zeroes out. Every promise of the faith loses its internal validity. In a universe where the grave is the final reality, every act of faith and every daily sacrifice is a delusion. Paul immediately counters his own hypothetical with a declaration of fact: Christ has been raised. To explain what this means for the rest of humanity, he uses the term aparche, the agricultural concept of first fruits. In the ancient world, the first portion of a harvest was a mechanical guarantee. This timeline shows how that first fruit guarantees the arrival of the massive harvest. Paul applies this to the resurrection. Christ is the first fruit, guaranteeing the subsequent wave of humanity's harvest. He uses the analogy of a seed to describe the change. A natural body is planted in the ground, but it eventually grows into a distinctly new spiritual body. This spiritual body is physical and tangible, but it possesses a new quality. It is incorruptible. The resurrection of Jesus serves as the functional guarantee of our own future physical transformation. This leads to the climax of chapter 15, where Paul asks the rhetorical question, "O death, where is your sting?" The word for sting is kentron. It refers to the venomous stinger of a scorpion or a sharp metal goad used to drive animals. Look at the stinger glancing harmlessly off the surface. While death still causes grief and pain for believers, its toxic power has been permanently disarmed. The victory of the first fruit means that the worst possible outcome for a human life has been removed from the board. The tone shifts instantly in chapter 16. Paul moves from the soaring heights of the afterlife to the mundane details of church administration. He returns to that word kainos. Because the resurrection is a historical certainty, he tells the Corinthians that their daily labor is not in vain. It is no longer empty. Paul immediately applies this not empty status to a financial collection he's organizing for the suffering church in Jerusalem. He presents eternal hope as the primary fuel for weekly practical generosity. By placing the resurrection next to a fundraising request, Paul shows that a conviction about the next world should dictate the use of resources in this one. This framework provides a new way to process the realities of physical aging and bodily suffering. Paul models an active, quiet expectation of a future transformation. He closes the letter with the untranslated Aramaic phrase, Maranatha, our Lord come. This ancient prayer acts as a tool for facing daily frustrations with a sense of perspective. The certainty of this future provides the specific endurance and generosity required to live fully within the present.